Hey guys, I'm back. It's actually like midnight now, so pardon. I'm a little tired. Been at work all day, but unlike all the Obama voters that vote for a career, this one's going to be pretty short. I just wanted to make a quick point. The federal, the assault weapons ban that they're proposing right now. I just wanted to show one example of how it's complete bullshit and doesn't make any sense. Uh, I know the AR-15s are all real scary looking, and they look like military weapons. And you can argue with these dumbasses till you're blue in the face about how they're not military weapons. They're not select fire. They're not full auto. They're not like, they're trying to describe these. Why do people need army guns? They don't do that. It's just a damn deer rifle that has a badass looking stock with a removable magazine. They don't come with drum mags. They don't come with 50 round mags, They don't come with a belt feed. Oh, and they don't use clips. But, I'm not going to get all technical, A year or two ago, I probably called it a clip too, just because it was short, and a lot of Southerners like us, we like slang and shortening words. But anyway, that part doesn't really matter. What matters is the weapons that they should be scared of aren't really banned at all. Unless they have a cool looking stock or a grip added on or some other bullshit cosmetic stuff. So let me give you a shining example real quick. Let's see, they talk about capacity, right? So let's talk about capacity. A tube-fed .22 rifle. I think it holds 25 rounds, generally, give or take one or two. It holds 25 rounds now. It's legal, even under the assault weapons ban, right? And a lot of people are like, oh, well, it's just a 22, right? Is that the excuse? No, not really. It's just not removable. That's all. That's the only reason it's still legal. They claim that you can't reload it fast enough before the cops get there. So it's okay if I can shoot at least 25 people because I'm a crazed lunatic. As long as I can't change that magazine. Makes no sense. So here's the deal. If I have a bolt action that holds 5 rounds, it's slow as shit. I add a forward grip on it. Suddenly it's an assault weapon. I mean, really? Seriously? I mean, that's kind of retarded. So here's the deal. This right here is a .22 rifle. Semi-automatic. It only works every time you pull the trigger. Right? Not that scary looking, is it? It looks like a regular little plinker rifle. Matter of fact, it is a Mossberg Plinkster. It's for like popping cans and stuff. Pop, 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 pop. Actually, it has a 1.5 mile range. And they actually travel at supersonic speeds. So, I mean, don't underestimate it. I'm just making a point. But, it ain't that scary looking. Now it's an assault weapon, supposedly. Even though that magazine right there, it only holds 25 rounds. Regular old school Remington .22 rifle, wood stock, tube fed, it holds 25 rounds too. It's not an assault weapon. It holds the same amount of damn bullets and it shoots the same rounds. So that's where they're a little lacking in judgment. Shotguns. Joe Biden talks about shotguns. Would you rather get hit by a 223 or a 22 or like my quote unquote assault rifle, or would you rather get hit by a 12 gauge slug or buckshot? I'd rather get hit by a rifle, even if I was a robber. I'd rather get hit by a damn rifle. I'm just saying, when the two boys went through Columbine shooting up kids, they weren't shooting rifles. I hate to tell them, they were shooting shotguns, and they were leaving bodies laying everywhere. And I'm not talking about bullet wounds, I'm talking about like body parts missing. So it makes no sense. The only way to get control of the problem is going to be to get control of the people. These crazy ass people that need to be on medication, that need to be locked up, and they're not. They're demonizing the wrong people. They're demonizing the weapons. I mean, it's like blaming damn sports cars for driving accidents. They were under the influence. And I would put my life to bet that the people doing these shootings either were under the influence of antipsychotic medication and antidepressants and were either withdrawing off of it, or they had just changed their dosages, or they needed to be and they weren't. That's the problem. Look, I got it. I got the tools. I've had the tools since I was about 14. I've been made fun of since I was in like 3rd grade and tormented and everything else. I haven't shot up a school, right? I might have went home and beat the hell out of a tree with a baseball bat, but I found other ways to vent without hurting people or myself in ways that weren't dangerous. When I got older, got out of the house, I had a motorcycle. I'd have a bad day at work or whatever, get on my bike, ride down the back roads to the country, and just cruise and clear my mind and calm down and, look at everything around me. And, it's not as ugly all of a sudden because you see things you miss flying through life every day. And, it's normal people do things like that. These crazy asses, it doesn't matter if they've got one gun, no guns, or 500 guns. They get this idea in their mind to kill a bunch of people, they're going to fucking do it. Whether they got to do it with their rifle, someone else's rifle, a handgun, or a Molotov cocktail. I mean, who the hell doesn't know how to put a rag in a bottle of vodka and bust it through a window? I mean, can you imagine how many kids that would have killed? But, you don't ban alcohol, do you? I mean, look at how many drunk drivers there are. Nobody cares. They're not banning that. They're not banning cigarettes. They kill a whole hell of a lot more people than freaking guns, if you want to know the honest to God truth. And, last I checked, I don't sit at work all day wondering when I'm going to have my next fucking target shoot. And there's people that can't sit at work for 15 minutes without having a fucking cigarette. And I hate working with them. But that's how it is. They don't ban that, even though it's like damn meth to some people. I need to calm down. But look, I don't deer hunt. I'm not against it. I've got like 200 acres of land. I used to. It's just, I'm too busy. I work, Luckily, one of my family members might pop one once a year, and, hell, we got 100 pounds of meat in the freezer for all winter, But, I don't hunt. I don't go to the shooting range, which, there again, that's because I got 200 acres of land. I don't have to pay to go to the shooting range, but, you know, I have what I have because I inherited it, you know, except for this 22. I built it myself. You know, I got it and built it, but a lot of stuff I got from family and, you know, my granddad, stuff like that. No kind of assault weapons like AR-15s or nothing like that, but, you know, still stuff that just as good. Just old school wood stock, you know, rifles and stuff, shotguns, but, you know, this whole thing's ridiculous. I mean, I can imagine a lot of people, the reason that we carry, you know, we like AR-15s isn't to try to be like the military and be badass and run around with like a, you know, Rambo or whatever. Because like I said, it's just a deer rifle with a cool, you know, cooler stock. But I implore you, if you ask that question again, go to the gun store and ask for a 30-06. Go ahead. Ask for one with maybe a 5-10 round mag and hold it. Now hold it for about 2 hours. Just do it. Please, for God's sakes, do it. Walk around the store with it for 2 hours. It'll wear your ass ragged. That AR-15 is so lightweight. You know, I mean, it's, even if you go in the woods and only put, you know, 3 or 4 rounds in the magazine, you know, we don't expect to load it up with all 30 rounds and go deer hunting. Granted, nobody can afford to just go shoot 30 rounds anyway. I mean, they're kind of high, you know, ammunition. But as far as deer hunting or sport or whatever, they're easy to carry. You can't scratch them because they're synthetic. You can't really break them. They're tough. If it rains, they get wet, whatever, it doesn't hurt them. So, I mean, they're versatile. That's why people like them. They're way more versatile. For the reasons the military uses them, that's why we like them. You know, back when they had Thompsons, I guarantee you a fully automatic 45 Thompson was a pretty badass gun. If you don't believe me, go look at all the shit Al Capone pulled and all the police pulled back then. They were carrying them. But it wasn't as versatile as a semi-automatic AR-15. I mean, it's not. Did more damage, but by deer hunting standards, AR-15 is a small caliber. It really is. Go look at AR-15, you know, 223 bullet at Walmart, and then ask for a 30-06, you know, 7 mag, something like that. That's some big ass bullet. They're elephant guns, and I don't see nobody complaining about them. You get hit in the gut or somewhere in the chest with a 30-06, you're dead. There ain't nothing. Boom. But you don't hear people complaining about them, and they do make mags for them too. I know somebody that's got one with one, but you know, anyway, I'm not going there. It ain't me. That gun weighs like, swear to God, 20 pounds. But anyway, I'm done. I just wanted to make a quick point. The mags that I have for my 22, they're legal right now in our state. I'm not going there either, but, you know, just rest assured, they're legal here, and there's really no state senator in our state at all that give a rat's ass about gun control. We do background checks on people, mandatory. We do background checks. As soon as you walk in the door at gun shows, you show your license, they run background checks. So, yeah, they're not running background checks at the tables, but you had to do it to get in the door. I mean, that's how it goes. I mean, so they know you're not a felon. They're not going to sell felons and crazy people guns at the gun show. What kind of bullshit would that be? This media, they don't know what the hell they're talking about. Either that or they do, and they're lying on purpose to create, you know, this thing against it. But anyway, I mean, I've been to them. You know, I mean, I'm, you know, over 21. I'll just leave it at that. And I drop my license down and go. I don't buy guns, but I go with other people that do, and you know, but so that's a lie. You know, I go in the pawn shop. I bought, you know, a couple of things, and they run my license before they'll even let me walk out the door. They run it through the Federal Registry of Felons and all that other stuff. I don't even have a jail record. I've never even seen the inside of a jail. So, you know, yeah, I got guns. Big deal. So, you know, that being said, I think that our state has enough gun control. I think, granted, that the states that don't do background checks, they need to seriously look at how they're doing things, because they are endangering people. But that's up to them. I don't think that full-on gun confiscation and all that bullshit is going to help. It's going to make it worse. There should be balance. You know, balanced freedoms. Yeah, we'll let you drive that 4,000-pound Blue Rocket, you know, with 300 horsepower, but you're going to have to take a driving test. And if you mess up, we're going to take your license. And then if we catch you driving without it, we're taking you to jail. I mean, am I right? Okay, then. It's kind of like that. I mean, except with the guns, you know, if you go to jail or whatever for something else, and you become a felon, they don't take your car. They still let you drive. You know, this is a DUI. But see, that's car related. With a gun, the beauty of it is, if you're a felon, whether it was for robbing the store, or, you know, assault or whatever, you can't have a gun. They take that right, whether a gun was involved or not. So, I mean, there are good gun laws out there in most states, and they enforce them, and it keeps people from buying them, believe me. It does. So, anyway, I'm done. I'll get some more on some, you know, facts out there, but I just want to share that with y'all, and, you know, deuces.